Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Ava, and I'm here. I'm your host this afternoon, and I'm representing Greater Westtown Training Partnership. And today we also have Mr. Charlie Negron, who's our guest speaker, and he's also one of our instructors. Welcome, Charlie.
Welcome. Thanks for having me on, Ava.
Okay, Charlie, can you tell us a little bit, or tell our viewers a little bit about the woodworking program at Greater Westtown?
Sure. The woodworking training program consists of 15 weeks of entry-level woodworking skills. What we're doing is teaching our students how to use various machines that you might see in a typical woodworking shop, so that way they can get accustomed to processing number parts, panel parts. They're learning blueprint reading, they're learning some math. There's a lot of skills that we want to try to teach those students in a small amount of time. And all of that's done with the goal of getting people placed on the job after training is completed.
Okay, great. Charlie, can you tell us who is eligible for the woodworking program at Greater Westtown?
Anyone's eligible. The requirements are a person has to be at least 18. They have to test at a 6th grade level in math and reading. They also need to be low income in order to qualify for funding, so that way they don't have to worry about training costs coming out of their pocket. So that means if someone's receiving some type of public aid or unemployment compensation, or maybe they have a family of 4 or 5 and under a certain income bracket, that will qualify them for funding. And the last requirement is that a person has to be able to pass a drug screening.
Okay. So what should a person expect when they come to one of the orientations?
Well, the orientation is the first step. So what we try to do as staff is give those clients who are coming through the door all the information they need to make an informed decision, just to make sure that this is going to be the right training for them or not. So basically, we're telling them a lot about the training program. Today is just a condensed version of it. We'll give them an application to fill out, and they'll do a small little test just to kind of see where they're at. And then what we'll do is, show them basically our shop, and that's where the magic happens. We'll take them for a small tour. They'll get to see the shop. They'll get to see students that are actually working on projects. They'll see them working with, the equipment, brand new CNC equipment, state-of-the-art stuff that we just installed probably about 4 months ago. So they started working on those types of projects, Korean. And once they're done, basically if they want to continue on in the application process, we'll keep going with them.
Why would an individual, say a person, think about enrolling into Greater Westtown's program?
Well, there's a lot of different factors. For a person like myself, I love the aspect of just working with my hands. I love thinking on my feet, looking at a project and grabbing something and making, something out of basically a drawing. So if I could think of the idea, put it on paper, then I could go ahead and create it. Some other people think about, well, you know what, I need a job. I need some skills. I don't have any skills. This is a really good first step. There might be others who are maybe between jobs and might need to kind of maybe retrain, or maybe they got laid off from a job and they need some type of retraining, and they're thinking about, oh my gosh, do I really got to go back to school or something else? And so that might be just one of the small factors they might want to consider about giving us a call.
Okay. Charlie, I see that we have a caller. Caller, are you there?
Hi. Is this training expensive?
Caller, could you speak up just a little bit louder? Try it again.
Yes. How expensive is this training?
Well, it's no cost for individuals who qualify for funding. I just ran through those requirements a little bit earlier. And again, if you're low income, if you're receiving public aid, if you are on unemployment compensation, again, if you're under a certain income bracket, that will qualify you for funding. So again, you don't have to worry about training costs coming out of your pocket whatsoever. One of the things that we also provide is transportation reimbursement at the end of the week. So a person coming through the training program at the end of the week, they'll either receive a bus card that's good for 7 days, or a gas card that's up, about $25 at the end of the week.
So, in other words, you do have supportive services set in place
We do.
for those that attend the program.
Yes.
So, what you're telling the viewers is that the woodworking is really a career opportunity for them?
It is a career path. So, with wood manufacturing, wood products, if you think about anything that goes inside of a home, it's some type of wood, either wood product, either molding, it could be flooring, it could be the cabinets, it could be the kitchen cabinets. Those are the things that really stand out when someone's maybe going into a home or maybe thinking about purchasing a home. They might walk into that kitchen and, you know, just be floored by the beauty of how that kitchen looks like. Or there might be some, you know, cabinetry that goes into the home. So one thing I do want to just kind of let the viewers know, there's a difference between carpentry and woodworking. Sometimes they'll get too confused a little bit. Carpentry, you're talking about you know, framing homes, concrete work, electrical, plumbing. Woodworking is more precision. It's more of building everything that goes inside the home.
Okay. My next question for you is, what other type of jobs for woodworker skills do you offer?
So, well, we don't offer jobs, but we do help students get placed on the jobs afterwards.
Okay.
So we do have a placement rate of 85% for all those who are out there maybe, you know, interested. That's the great record that we have over our, you know, existence over 23 years, is our constant 85% placement rate. The jobs, someone who's coming out of this type of field could get into cabinet making. They can get into architectural millwork. That is stuff that's made out of wood that can't be moved in a home. So, or maybe an office building or a church. So if you go to a church and you see all of this paneling out of wood product or pews, that's architectural millwork. That's the banisters, that's the arched windows, that's made out of wood, that's architectural millwork. Musical instruments, there's also companies who provide that type of lumber, so there's lumber mills out there. So there's a wide variety of skill levels that a person coming out of our training can potentially go into one of those types of fields.
Okay, I know I kind of botched the question a little bit, but let's just go back. How does the job placement process really work?
So usually right about week 10 of training, week 11, we'll ask the students to go ahead and get the resumes up to date. And what we'll do is we have job readiness classes in our training also. So they'll do those once a week. And what we want to do with those types of classes is just kind of get them prepared to maybe go on interviews. So at about week 10 or week 11, once the resumes are done, we'll start calling around to employers. Maybe we'll do faxing or cold calling or emailing the companies in the Chicagoland area that we have students that are ready for employment. And then, you know, they'll call us and they'll say, hey, you know, can you send me over some resumes? And once, you know, we do that, we'll go ahead and set up interviews with the students and the employers and stuff. And hopefully, you know, they'll find something that they like.
Okay, that's great. Charlie, I'm sure other people have it on their mind, like our viewers. What's the salary entry level, or like the range after the course is completed or when they start going out?
And about, I would say $13 and $14 an hour is probably what's average right now. Here in the Chicagoland area, the minimum wage, who are out there looking, you know, for some type of employment, we can start off at 11. Usually on a career path like this, there's students who I've known that have been in the industry.
That's great. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the success stories that you have with the graduates that have attended?
So I have quite a few stories. There's one student, just to let people know, let the class, and I'm just remembering you brought that question to me, of a student who was probably out maybe about 6 months and came to our training program, interviewed, and one of the last questions that we asked him really impressed us with his answer. And I won't give that away just in case somebody wants to kind of bring that around, but we sent him to a company. We have a caller. We sent him to a company, and he's been there for, over 12 years now, and he's one of those students that's working in the low 20s at the moment. So, yeah.
Fantastic. I saw that we had a caller earlier. Caller, are you still there?
Hello, caller?
Hello.
Hello? Go ahead with your question.
My question is, so if I have some work experience, why do I need training?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, it would all depend on what type of work experience that you might have. Remember, we are trying to bridge a gap between people who have no skills and employers who are looking for people with some type of manufacturing skills in woodworking. So maybe somebody who may, again, have maybe lost their job and maybe need to be retrained in a certain field for better opportunities in woodworking. That might be one of the opportunities of why they might need additional training.
Caller, does it answer your question?
I think
I guess it
she's
did,
off.
okay.
All right. Well, thanks for the question.
Okay, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges the students might face once they're in the program?
The biggest challenge is most likely, I think their home situation. Out there. We don't know what person might bring into the training program. One of the things I love as a teacher is being able to help a student who might not have no skills whatsoever and slowly start building up a skill level with them. So we teach people who come in like they have no skills whatsoever. They do come in at different levels, but we try to put a base skill and then start slowly building up those skills throughout the training program. And usually by the end of the training, we have people who are working in some really good fields, architectural millwork. There's people, the best call I like is a student who may have gone to work and is now a manager of maybe a high-end furniture shop, and he's giving me a call and say, Charlie, I need some people. That is probably one of the biggest rewards out there for me.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Callers, we also have another visitor here. She's one of our current students. Her name is Vanessa, and we'd like to bring her up and introduce her as well. So,
Give them some information about our training program. We'll
Sure.
call her up. Yep.
okay, I'm going to flash on the screen some of the information that you'll need if you wanted to make contact with us, and here it is. So you see, it's the Greater Westtown Training Partnership, and it's the Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program. The location is 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number is also there, 312-563-9570. We have 3 contacts there. We have Facebook, which you see the Facebook contact along with the World Wide Web, and you could also email us if needed. So the orientation is every week at 8:45 a.m. and you need to call to reserve a seat. They're going fast. So the next training class starts July 24th, 2017. So like I said, we have a few seats available. Give us a call, okay? Okay, this is Vanessa. Welcome.
Hi, Eva.
Okay, great. Vanessa, how did you hear about the Greater Westtown Training Partnership and what brought you to it?
I had been interested in woodworking for a while.
Okay.
I did a couple of online searches, and I kept finding a lot of classes that were short-term, where you created one project, and they also were kind of expensive. So I was actually able to find Greater Westtown through Google search, and my schedule opened up, and it sounded like a good fit.
What have been some of your challenges since you've been there?
I would say I don't have a lot of experience with a lot of the tools we used, but and every week is a couple new tools. But I feel like my instructors made sure that we do it in a good pace, so I never feel like left behind, and we get to use them safely. So.
How is the atmosphere there? Do you? I'm sure you're outnumbered by some of the men that are in there. But does it intimidate you, or you have your comfort zone, or are you comfortable with what you're doing?
I'd say in the beginning I wasn't sure how it would work out, because honestly when I looked up woodworking as a career I saw that 4% are women. So it could be intimidating, but I'd say it's a very professional environment, and they really don't treat me any differently.
So now with the experience and the exposure that you have, you feel you can just go home and do your own honey-do list, so to speak?
Yeah, it is a really nice wood shop. It's great to have access to the tools, but they do teach you skills. You need to read a blueprint or even create your own designs. So I'm really looking forward to carrying my skills.
Great. I have a couple more questions for you. What advice would you give to some of our viewers that are interested in the program out there?
I would say don't hesitate. If it's something that you're interested in, even if you're not sure, it doesn't hurt to come to an orientation. So, yeah, even if you're a woman, just don't hesitate. You can do it.
I had spoken with Charlie earlier on another occasion, and I heard or understand that you guys go out on field trips. How has that exposure been for you?
It's been incredible to see what you can do. There's so many different aspects to woodworking, and different jobs even within a shop. So it's been good to see all the different angles. We got to see a cabinetry company that does custom work for interior design. And then we also got to see the Field Museum. I didn't realize a lot of museums and establishments have their own wood shops, so it was really cool to get a behind-the-scenes tour.
That was great.
Yep.
So what are some of the things you've built since you've been in the program, in the class?
We've done a lot of things that we actually have the option of taking home if we'd like. We built a couple of different shelving units and learned different ways that things can be joined. We've made a cabinet with a different material countertop. And again, these are all from blueprints, so they emphasize, accuracy. And now we're building a stool, again, using the CNC machine a lot, so it's been really interesting.
Okay, good. So you seem to be really enjoying the class and
Yeah.
what you're learning and going forth with putting it into progress and
Yes.
steps. Okay.
I'm very grateful. Instructors are excellent.
That's so nice to hear. Okay, Vanessa, thank you so much for coming. But what
Thanks.
I'm going to do now is flash the information once again on the
Okay.
screen for our viewers. So, viewers, here it is. It's the Greater Westtown Training Partnership Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program. The location is 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number, 312-563-9570. We have 3 different contacts. We have the Facebook connection, we have the World Wide Web, and you can also email us. The orientations are done every week. They're always at 8:45 a.m. in the morning, so please call and reserve your seat. The next class will be starting July 24th in 2017. So I'm sure they're looking forward to your phone calls. Okay, Charlie, I did have another question for you. You had mentioned barriers in regards to an individual. What are you saying, like background barriers, or could you clarify that for us, for the viewers?
Background. So, usually one of the things that ex-felons might be intimidated, is basically finding a new job, just because there might be, some type of record that they might have. They might be, kind of squeamish to bring forth in an interview or something like that. So, they just don't know what's going to happen. So, we work with people who have these barriers, just because we know that people need to get out there and work. People want to work. That is my experience. People need some type of avenue to just gain those skills so that way they can get a better foothold on some type of employment. And usually with woodworking, there's companies out there who kind of know the clients that we work with and stuff, and they're not really worried about the employee as much as the employee being able to either build a great product and bring in a profit margin to the company. So if you can make company money, most likely they're going to say, hey, we'll work with you. We do know that you might have some issues and stuff, but as long as you leave those issues in the past, we have no problem with it also.
That's great. Charlie, what are some of the qualities that a person would need in order to complete the course, or are you expecting them to have to get into the woodworking program and to go forward?
Usually when I look at certain attributes or qualities that somebody has, they're the qualities that anybody might bring to a table in order to be successful. Being punctual. having the mindset that they want to learn a skill. A person who's has good energy, being able to hustle, and someone not being afraid to work, don't mind getting their hands dirty. So
Or breaking a nail.
breaking a nail. Usually those types of attributes are what brings success in any type of field. It doesn't matter if you hustle, if you have a good mindset that you want to learn, you could take that and do anything. The best advice I've ever gotten from a business owner, he says that people have the potential to be anything they want. People have the potential to be great woodworkers. Right now, they just don't have the ability. So usually, I tell students that I say you don't have the ability, and how you get the ability is, coming into training every day. You learn, you hustle, you do all of those things, and you can take these skills. And once you learn these skills, you could take them anywhere around the world and build stuff. If you know math, if you know how to look at a drawing and break it down, you can use those same tools. The language barrier is not the biggest problem. It's they could give you a job and you'll be able to take it from start to finish if you have the ability. But again, for us, what we want to do is, as instructors, is give you that base level training, so that way, hopefully, we'll be able to get a person foot in the door of a company, and they'll be able to take that skill level from that point and build upon it.
Okay. Charlie, once the students have possibly completed the class, can they just build anything or make something very personal for themselves?
Well, we do about 4 projects, maybe in a certain class, and they're pretty regimented on what we're going to try to do, because there's certain things that we need to teach using those certain projects. When a student comes out of our training program, they're going to need more skills. If you think about 15 weeks is not really enough time for anybody to be a master of any type of trade. So it's these are all entry-level skills that we're teaching a student. But I can tell when someone who has a drive and they want to take that career path longer and stuff, they'll take these skills and do a lot of different things. So I've seen people make guitars and cabinets and countertops and stuff at home and stuff after the training program. This was just a good foundation. Basically they just got their feet wet at Greater Westtown Training.
Okay.
Yep.
I know this is taking us back a little bit, but I was meaning to ask you earlier, what are some of the other subjects that are covered in the training program?
Oh, yeah, that's good. So the things that will teach a student. So this is funny, because I usually get somebody who might not have gone to school in about 20 years, and they're like, I've been to school in 20 years. Don't worry. We're going to wrap up in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Blueprint reading, shop math. Computer skills.
Okay.
We also do 3D modeling using various types of software. They're going to learn machine operation, jigsaws, bandsaws, table saws, routers. We have CNC equipment that they'll kind of program with computers. They're learning English and job readiness classes. Maybe do a little bit of shipping and receiving in that. So there's quite a lot, and we tend to condense 15 weeks and do a lot in those, so that way that they're always busy.
Okay, callers, we're getting ready to wrap it up now. I hope we've answered some of your questions that you may have had.
Thank Vanessa.
And thank Vanessa for coming on the show, as well as Charlie here, giving us all the information that you need in order to enroll into the program. And give us a call. So once again, here's the information on the CAM. That's it.